You remember your first period. Maybe not the date, but you remember the feeling. That specific mix of confusion and the instinct to hide it before anyone noticed. Now picture the opposite. Picture an entire community finding out, on purpose, and celebrating. For most of human history, in a huge number of cultures, that's exactly what happened. Among the Apache, a girl's first period still triggers something called the Sunrise Ceremony. 4 days long, still practiced today. She is ritually transformed into white-painted woman, a figure believed to carry healing power. She runs, she dances. An entire community gathers to bless her, not to whisper about her, to celebrate her. This wasn't one isolated tradition. Anthropologists have documented similar first-period rites among Aboriginal Australian communities, indigenous groups across the Americas, and parts of sub-Saharan Africa. These were cultures that treated a girl's first period as proof she had crossed into adulthood, not something to be managed quietly in a bathroom stall. Here's the detail that should genuinely surprise you. In 1997, anthropologist Beverly Strassman spent years living among the Dogon people of Mali, studying something almost nobody had measured before: how often women in a natural fertility population actually menstruate across a lifetime. No birth control, extended breastfeeding, frequent pregnancy. Her number? Roughly 100 periods total, across an entire adult life. The average woman today, in an industrialized country, close to 400. A first period, for most of human history, wasn't the beginning of a monthly routine most people alive today would recognize. It was closer to a rare, significant event, which may be exactly why so many cultures marked it with ceremony instead of silence. But it wasn't only celebration. Alongside these rites, an equally widespread practice existed: separation. Menstrual huts were dedicated structures where women stayed during their period, apart from daily camp or village life. They appear across an enormous range of cultures, from Nepal to indigenous communities across North America. Researcher Chris Knight, in his study of early human social structures, argued something that reframes the whole picture. These practices may once have reflected real collective power women held during menstruation. Not banishment, but a kind of recognized authority, later reinterpreted, generations on, as impurity instead of significance. That reinterpretation eventually won. By the time menstruation appears in the Old Testament in Leviticus, it's already written into law as ritually unclean. That single framing was impurity instead of transformation. It would go on to shape most of Western history for the next 2,000 years. Here's the part almost nobody expects. The deep secrecy so many people associate with periods isn't ancient at all. Historian Nahima Hanafi's research into medieval and early modern Europe found families discussing menstruation fairly openly as a normal health matter. Mothers, daughters, even fathers and uncles corresponded about it directly. The silence didn't exist yet. The shame took hold specifically in 19th century Europe as new middle-class ideas about feminine modesty spread. An entire bodily process discussed openly for most of human history was pushed out of sight in less than 1 century. You didn't inherit silence about your first period from ancient women. Somewhere back there, someone threw you a ceremony instead.